There's going to be spoilers for La La Land in this video. They're probably only minor, but if you don't want to get spoiled, there you go, I've given you your warning. So I just watched La La Land from director Damien Chazelle, if that's how you pronounce his name, and it was pretty great. Considering all the hype that surrounds this movie as being one of the best musicals of all time, or at least of the current generation, I won't say it lived up to all my expectations, taking into account what I heard about it, but I still enjoyed it a lot nonetheless. The acting across the board was good, and there's no standout actor that made me say, wow, they were really crap. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone both had great performances, and the rest of the cast ranged on a scale from competent to great. As good as the acting was, however, the three standout elements of this film were the visuals, music, and choreography. In fact, the most visually impressive part of the film for me took place at the very end. That's not to say the movie didn't look as good anywhere else, but the final 5 to 10 minutes of the film are seriously beautiful to look at, and it's obvious a lot of time and effort went into creating it. In terms of the music and choreography, if you for whatever reason hate jazz, you monster, and musicals, you'll probably hate this movie. But seeing as I really love jazz and I like musicals, I enjoyed it a lot. The pacing was also nice and brisk. Even in the slower moments, it didn't feel like the movie was dragging to a halt. So in terms of those three aspects, this film was an absolute treat. Well done, Damien Chazelle. But not so well done on the story. In fact, the plot of this film is kind of the worst part about it. For one thing, it's cliched as hell. And cliches aren't necessarily bad, and you can argue that they're trying to pay homage to classic musicals and their plots. After all, red, blue, green, and yellow frequently appear together, hinting at the saturation and exaggeration of the classic Technicolor film process seen in many early films like, I don't know, The Wizard of Oz. I mean, just look at the Munchkinland scene. Those colors appear everywhere. But there are many lines and segments of this film that I can't describe as anything other than like when Ryan Gosling is having an argument with Emma Stone, and he's like, oh, it's time for me to grow up and get a stable job. And Emma Stone's like, oh, but what about your dream? You said you had a dream. I guess now only the money matters to you. The whole growing up thing is like something that would be said in a terrible kids film. Like Toy Story 3. Just kidding, I actually like Toy Story 3. And after Emma Stone first performs her show, So Long Boulder City, you can hear people within earshot, the crew for the show presumably, going, oh my god, she was so bad, she shouldn't act ever again because of how bad she was. I mean, I'm exaggerating, obviously, but not by much. Those moments, among others, seriously dragged the movie down for me. Apart from that though, this musical was still enjoyable and I liked watching it. But god damn, the story could be so painful at times. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's not a 9, but it isn't quite a 7, but if I had to say it's leaning more towards a 7 than a 9, that's my review, bye!